The following podcast is brought to you by Mark Who 42 Books. They carry rare and used Doctor Who books at an affordable price. Get all your Wilderness Year needs at amazon.com/shops/Mark Who 42. Mark Who 42 Books is proud to be a sponsor of Mark Who 42's Doctor WHOniverse.
Hello, my name's Fraser Hines, also known as Jamie McCrimmon. You're listening to Mark Who 42's podcast.
Mark Who 42 Universe.
Welcome to Mark Who 42's WHOniverse, Doctor WHOniverse, that is. I'm your host, Mark Baumgarten, and hey, with me as usual are...
Patricia Helm.
Eduardo-m-freyre.
And Christian Basel. Hello, sweetie.
Hi. Hi, everyone.
Oh, you call Mark sweetie? Aw. Aw.
I wasn't talking to Mark.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm attached. You know that.
no,
What she said.
I think we better just jump ahead, too.
Oh my.
Let's jump ahead into the Doctor Who news with our Doctor Who correspondent, Patricia Helm.
Well, it's been a couple weeks since we've been together, but two big things happened. There were two big birthdays that we celebrated.
Woohoo!
Yes. January 20th was Tom Baker's 80th birthday.
Happy
Woohoo, my
birthday,
man Tom! The Tom!
Tommy!
The Tom. Happy
The
birthday.
Tom! The Tom!
Who knows? Who knows?
Hey, no. The Tom is mine. That's my Tom. Not your. You get your own Tom. That's my Tom.
I'll get a
My-
Tom for my car or
Oh
my
my.
carriage. Thomas.
And then on January 22nd was John Hurt's 74th birthday.
But I celebrated. I had no choice. In the name of peace and sanity.
But not in the
But
name
not
of
in-
your birthday.
But not in the name of the fourth Doctor, though. Would you like a jelly baby?
Well, and also what happened over the last 2 weeks is the UK had their National Television Awards.
Oh, yes. ITV showed the NTA 2014 awards. Yes.
And Doctor Who won both awards it was nominated for. It won for Best Drama, so it beat out Broadchurch, Downton Abbey, and Call the Midwife.
Wow. Happy anniversary,
Wow.
Doctor Who. You're a winner. Yeah.
Even with the Rings of Akatsan?
Yeah, even with the Rings of Action.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
bell curve.
See what happens when you get John Hurt to guest star on your show?
And Matt Smith won for Best Drama Performance.
Now, this year it was interesting because usually they have a male and female category. This year, the drama performance, it was male and female in the running, and Matt won overall. So that's excellent.
Wow, who did he beat?
He won against Miranda Hart from Call the Midwife,
Ooh.
Martin Clunes from Doc Martin, and Maggie Smith
Oh.
from Downton Abbey.
Oh, he beat
Maggie Smith, yeah.
Maggie Smith.
Well,
he
that's
beat
kinda-
Maggie Smith.
But that's kind of crazy that they would lump them all together. I mean, that makes it so that there's less nominations.
Yeah, I hope
I don't-
I hope Matt Smith was like really gracious in his acceptance speech, and he said, you know, and you know, and gave a kudos to all the people who were nominated with him. I wouldn't want him to get on the bad end of Professor McGonagall. I don't know. Maggie Smith looks like someone who would be really vindictive and, you know, probably make a snarky comment after she has you killed. You know?
Or with Martin Clunes, he'll bring back the Mara on his butt.
Well, now this isn't Doctor Who related so much, but Benedict Cumberbatch did win for Best TV Detective.
Yeah, he beat
That's
David
Sherlock.
Tennant from Broadchurch on that one. So
Yes.
Benedict beat Dave
And Olivia Colman and Idris Elba.
from
and-
Luther.
Yeah,
Well, hey,
so-
I think Idris Elba is cooler in Pacific Rim. Can't beat Idris Elba in Pacific Rim.
I'm actually leaning a little bit more to the British TV awards. I haven't seen American TV awards in like forever because it just got ostentatiously silly, for the better term. It's really just like, you know, best actor who can flip flapjacks in the skillet. I mean, just, you know, it's almost like they point new awards out so that they can grandfather in another person. And I'm hoping the BBC is not heading in that direction. You know, best actor, best actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and somebody who could make a nice tea for the afternoon.
Yeah. Well, no. For me, I mean, I still watch award shows, but I have this sort of detachment where it's like I kind of want to see if I can guess what they were thinking when they gravitated towards this award, especially when you have like. I mean, I could tell with some stuff like MTV, it's a little more populous, it's a little more, it's a little more geared towards the masses. But, with some of the other awards, it's like, like the Academy Awards, which is coming up. What are they thinking?
They're not. I've seen some of the winners. They're not.
Well, no, they are. They are. It's just that it's. I can as the doctor would say, I'll explain later.
Well, speaking of movies, did any of you guys see the trailer for Karen Gillan's new horror movie called Oculus?
No, I have
Yep.
not.
Yes, I have.
Yep. And I saw that poster and
It is freaky looking.
I now refuse to look at mirrors in my house anymore.
Oh no.
I'm just like,
well,
I
hey,
won't be watching that.
I already was freaked out. I already was freaked out by mirrors thanks to the end of Human Nature and Family of Blood.
Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. Ah! All right.
And that concludes our podcast for today. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. In fact, any future podcasts now, it's just Ed, me, and Trish. Thanks a bunch there.
Yeah. Great. Our showrunner got killed by Tony Todd. Wonderful.
Tony Todd is a
American
great
works,
actor.
too.
He should be in Doctor Who.
Is he British?
No, but he still should be in Doctor Who.
Okay. Next time.
He's in everything American, every single franchise, every single genre show. Tony Todd makes an appearance. He's got to go over there. Ben Browder got to go over there and do Town Called Mercy. Let's get Tony Todd into Doctor Who. Steven, talk to Steven for me, all right? Ed, you're good friends with Stephen Moffat. You can talk to him.
I'm not good friends with Stephen Moffat. I just
talk to him all the time.
No, I keep pleading with him on this podcast. I don't know if he listens or not. I mean, if he does, I'd like, send us an email, Steven, so we know that you're at least listen to the podcast, so
You talk, but it's a one-way conversation.
or hey,
Not
or hey,
necessarily
if anybody,
being
if anybody who
received
listens to this podcast works for Steven, and
I think when Ed actually talks to Steven, we should have some kind of music behind him, just a little piano music going. Something.
That's all right.
Something a little sparse there.
It's too much work in the editing suite.
yeah, and please, no ending theme to Incredible Hulk.
I was going to just say sad Hulk music. It would be funny.
Hey, no, Christian, no, Christian.
That wasn't me.
Okay, well,
That's dark.
whoever did it, man,
Pay
come on.
attention to what's blinking on the screen.
Respect what Bill Bixby
Hi,
is.
I'm Christian Basel. If you would like to hire me to do your voiceovers, call. All right.
Yes, drink. Drink now. Mark just
Oh.
gave me a plug.
I just gave you a plug. Go to
Actually,
our
no, that
Facebook
doesn't
page
count.
and
That
hire him.
No, that doesn't count. You would have had to have done the plug yourself.
Yeah, it wasn't a self.
Yeah, it wasn't self-promotion.
I mean, if I said, go to voice
Go
Yeah.
to-
the voice of Christian Basel.
And this
on
is why
Facebook.
That's
Mark
a great
did the plug.
that's a great advertisement right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd hire you in a minute.
Please
What
hire
was
me for the. Thank you very much.
Do we have more news? I'd
Yes.
like news. I need more news. We need new
Well, no, okay. We've talked about before how IDW Publishing had ended their deal with the BBC to publish the Doctor Who comics.
Yeah, they're
Well,
on. No more.
yeah. Well, Titan Comics and BBC Worldwide Americas have signed a deal to publish all the new Doctor Who comic book adventures.
Didn't I say
And
it's going to be Titan Comics? I said this months ago.
the adventures are going to feature the Doctors portrayed by David Tennant, Matt Smith, and Peter Capaldi.
Ooh. That's going to be cool. See Peter Capaldi in the comic.
Nothing with the classic. They're just the new Doctors.
So I take it the Christopher Eccleston caricature did not want to do it. He just didn't think it was in his contract and didn't want to do 50th anniversary special. So is that why he's not part of that group?
I don't know.
Once again, I'm a little surprised and disappointed that they're not going to do anything new with the classic Doctors. I mean, especially with the fact that the Eighth Doctor,
Mhm.
experienced a resurgence thanks to Night of the Doctor.
Or we could have a War Doctor comic book.
Yeah, there you go. See,
I
that's
like
the
that.
other thing.
I would read that.
Yeah, no, I'd love to see some more adventures with the War Doctor.
Yeah.
And
You could
you know
actually
what?
see the Time War.
They've only announced the 10th, 11th, and 12th. It's very possible these other ideas may come up.
True.
Here's hoping so.
Well, you know that wonderful movie, An Adventure in Space and Time?
Yes, that beautiful movie. I watched it again the other day. It's just
Yeah,
so
I still have it on my DVR. But they're going to be releasing the soundtrack to that, and that comes out March 3rd of 2014.
Wow,
So-
right before day before my sister's birthday. Too bad she's not a Whovian.
And
Which I'm sorry, I think that should have been up for some award. David Bradley gave an awesome performance. I mean, who wasn't being tear-jerked during that whole episode, during that whole movie, especially when he's crying over the fireplace? I mean, it became a story on its own about the actors, about the producers, about how this little show that could have did.
Well, wait, did the NTAs have like a TV movie or miniseries category?
I have no
I
idea.
didn't see one.
With some of these awards, what they do with miniseries or movies is they give them their own little category,
Right.
rather than lump them with like ongoing stuff. So that's why I asked. Like, I noticed that the Golden Globes didn't put it in, although I don't know, maybe it was because they wanted to focus on like, I don't know, stateside stuff. But yeah, I agree with Christian. That deserves some recognition.
They're gonna have a best TV detective drama. They should have a category with best TV show that had a actor play a Time Lord. There you go.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right
That's
there.
kind of well. That's But if he's the only person nominated, it would kind of make it a. But yeah, maybe some sort of biographical category.
That would have been good.
Yeah.
And there was an actor who, the actor who played Patrick Troughton in the movie at the end of it.
Yeah,
so
but that was
there
a
would have been
cameo.
2 people up for an award.
But that was a cameo, and he really didn't.
Well, but there still would have been 2 people up for the award, and then you could purposely, then it would be fair for David Bradley.
I don't know. You're stretching there, Mark.
I am reaching. I'm reaching for the stars.
Yeah.
I'm the time vortex. Okay.
All right, back to the news. The details have been announced on the new Doctor Who ebook that's titled Tales of Trenzalore.
Oh, yeah, that should be amazing. Now, is that a prequel or a sequel?
Well, it's a companion to the Time of the Doctor, and there's 4 different adventures, and they're from 4 different periods during the siege of Trenzalore. The 4 different stories are titled Let It Snow by Justin Richards, An Apple a Day by George Mann, Strangers in the Outland by Paul Finch, and The Dreaming by Mark Morris.
You know, that's going to be popular with the Whovians because for people like me who did not understand Time of the Doctor that much, we're going to need a companion book to read on that.
This is the synopsis for it. As it has been foretold, the armies of the universe gathered at Trenzalore. Only one thing stood between the planet and destruction: the Doctor. For 900 years, he defended the planet and the tiny town of Christmas against the forces that would destroy it. He never knew how long he could keep the peace. He never knew what creatures would emerge from the snowy night to threaten him next. He only knew that at the end he would die on Trenzalore. Some of what happened during those terrible years is well documented. Most of it remains shrouded in a mystery and darkness. Until now. This is a glimpse of just some of the terrors the people face, the monstrous threats the Doctor defeated. These are the tales of the monsters who found themselves afraid, and of the one man who was not. And that's going to be released on February 27th.
I noticed that the cover is full of classic Doctor Who monsters. 2 of the classic monsters are ones that we haven't seen make their presence known in the new series. The Crinoids and the Mara. When news broke out about the book, I posted this on our Facebook page, and all over Facebook. Hey, could maybe they show up on the show proper? Maybe. Hey, Capaldi
Maybe
versus
we
the
can
Mara.
make the Mara look good.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe the Mara could finally be realized in CGI.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just something.
Come on,
I kind of like that 1970s made of rubber with big teeth.
Oh, it's the 1980s made of rubber big teeth.
Yeah.
It was not 1970s. That was 80s.
Well, I gotta say, hey, as cheesy as the Mara was, watching Snake Dance and seeing seeing
Martin
Tegan, seeing Tegan look in the mirror and there's this little snake skull head. That was freaky.
Martin Clunes was good in that episode.
there you go.
More freakier than a snake, to tell you the truth.
Okay,
Any more news?
yeah. Well, now we have a couple stories that are a bit sad.
Oh.
Veteran BBC costume designer Kevin True passed away, and he's did a lot with costume design for Doctor Who over the years, and he's the one who designed the Seventh Doctor's costume, but he also revamped the Third Doctor's costume, and he was the man that created the first costume for the Master, played by Roger Delgado.
Oh wow!
And he died at the age of 77.
Delgado had a good look.
He did. God, everything about the Delgado Master was good, and yes, the costume included.
And then also Roger Lloyd Pack also passed away. This past.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Roger Lumic.
Lumic, yes, the father of the Cybermen, and he was also well known for his role as Trigger in Only Fools and Horses.
And he was in Vicar of Dibley.
Vicar of Dibley, yep. He played Owen. He died of pancreatic cancer.
Ugh.
And he was a doctor in the Harry Potter series.
Oh, that's right.
As being a father to David Tennant.
Yes.
Oh.
He played Barty Crouch Sr. in Harry Potter.
Oh, jeez.
I'll have to watch Harry Potter to. I must be one of the only people in the world that haven't really watched Harry Potter. I watched the last two movies in the theater because we were taking my girlfriend's son to it. But except for I did see the first two movies on video, but I haven't actually. I'm not even a Harry Potter fan.
Don't feel so bad. I only watched the one movie because David Tennant was in it, and that's how I know about that. That was the only reason why.
I didn't see the one with David Tennant in it.
I've watched all of them, and I've read all the books multiple times. So,
see, Trish, we're alone in this.
I attempted to read the books. I just didn't fall for it.
Well, how were you able to follow everything if you couldn't, if you only seen like 4 out of 8?
I had to just pick up nod. I had to pick it up, and I was able to. I mean, it's just hard to explain. It's what I do with a lot of TV shows. If I miss episodes, I just pick up from character cues and
in this day and age, man, you don't have to do that, man. You could run, there's DVRs, there's torrents, there's you could go on Netflix, Netflix, Amazon. Come on, man, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to spend time watching it. I got better things to do.
Oh, okay. Oh,
it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, and everybody's gonna like it. So yeah.
Also, with just like I did tributes to Tom Baker and John Hurt on their birthdays, I did a little tribute to Roger Pack, and I still remember trying to find the picture to go with it was a bit of a mission, because when I read what he died of, when I went on Google to try and find like an image, all the pictures of Lumic had him with that gas mask thingy, and I'm like, no, this would be totally inappropriate.
Right.
Totally inappropriate. So, I mean, the picture that I used, that was the only one that I could find that he wasn't there with the gas mask. It was one of those times where I kind of wish I had access to Trish's DVDs, because I could have probably found a better picture.
So that is all of the regular news for today, but we also have to delve into...
Now time for the Woman's Pregnancy Update. There you go.
That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Are you sure?
Oh.
Could have been worse. Could have been Baby Mario in Yoshi's Island.
Don't give him ideas.
Yeah. So, since we last did our podcast, we've had our first picture of Capaldi filming the first episode of the 8th season.
Oh, yeah.
And he was wearing a Victorian-era nightgown. And they're stressing that this is not his new costume.
I'm like, it totally is.
Yeah.
It totally is the new costume. Folks, you heard it here first on Mark Who 42's Universe. Peter Capaldi will be wearing a white gown for the entire series. He's wearing a muumuu.
I want to see that action figure, actually.
The action figures would be great. It'll come with a horse.
And there was also footage of him riding a horse, or his stunt double riding a horse, or something. So, but then they've also released an ad for some new action figures, and they do have one of Peter Capaldi, but he's still wearing, what he was wearing when he regenerated. So they don't really have, anything out about his new costume yet. I'm just gonna have to wait on that.
Isn't that like part of a set?
Yeah, it's part of a set. There's gonna be, this is gonna be released this spring, and it's gonna also include. There's also a Zygon, a brand new Clara Oswald action figure, Matt Smith's 11th Doctor, a screaming Weeping Angel, an Assault Dalek, and an Imperial Guard Dalek, and then the newly regenerated 12th Doctor. But they're also saying that they're going to continue to expand the action figures, and there'll be more figures coming out to coincide with the premiere of the new series. So.
Screaming Weeping Angel. To relate to that, there's other types of Weeping Angels we're not aware of. The procrastinating Weeping Angel, the Weeping Angel with Tourette syndrome, other Weeping Angels where we can just go down there.
I think it's like Screaming Weeping Angel. That's kind of like when you have that big sort of really cry, and there's probably another Weeping Angel that's it's more of the trying to silently cry at a romantic movie type of thing.
And hopefully they do a new commercial to go with it.
Oh, so we're not hearing about the new companion, Amy Pond.
Yeah.
And now, if you act now, you can get a special order of Joe Grant.
Hey,
and Blue Dalek.
The Dalek and Joe Grant as an action figure, would that be an adult toy?
Now it is.
I don't think that's what we're talking about, Mark.
I'm just saying, does it come with the optional blouse?
These kids today just want to take the clothes off the Barbie doll. Put it right next to the Dalek.
Oh, Mark's girlfriend. Look what he said.
Oh.
You will need to get a silent stall just to erase the kid's memory of what they just did.
Now, the last thing to talk about, as far as the wilderness pregnancy update, is it's actually something that I posted on our Facebook page. I don't know where it came from, and it's probably just all speculation, rumor, but I thought it was pretty interesting, and I thought we should maybe talk about it.
Okay.
It was supposedly these are things that are going to be happening in the new episodes for Series 8.
Oh yes. I saw your post. I noticed you actually posted once without the spoiler warning and took it off.
I did, yeah, because I thought, well, maybe, yeah, these are kind of spoilers. I mean, they could be, they might not be, but let's just put it on there anyway. So maybe we should go ahead and throw up the spoiler alert.
Okay, we're hitting the spoiler alert, and folks, these spoilers may not be spoilers because they may not be true. This could be total fantasy fiction. Not happening. Well, it is fantasy fiction. Yeah. It's
fan fiction.
It may be totally fan fiction and not what's really going to happen on Doctor Who. But we put up the spoiler alert just in case.
Don't forget, I owe you $100 from the last episode. Apparently, this thing is pricey.
It's very pricey. I need
to set off the cloister bell. I mean, it's just that costly.
Oh no, the cloister bell will be cost more. You're lucky I'm using the klaxons from that little episode.
Yeah. Do the cheaper quote.
The 12th Doctor's first episode sees the TARDIS making a bumpy landing in Victorian London, where the Doctor collapses and is taken to a hospital. Meanwhile, the Paternoster gang are investigating a series of brutal murders, and Clara meets a very familiar face.
Now, I gotta tell you something. That sounds like it could be true, because we've seen the pictures. We know he's going through Victorian England on that horse in the white gown. We know that the Paternoster gang are going to be in it. So that may not be fan fiction. That may be real.
I'm curious to know who the very familiar face is. Maybe it's Victorian Claire. I don't know. Another episode is set on a scientific way station that is experimenting on DNA splicing. The episode will see a hybrid of two of the show's most iconic species. Cyber Daleks, anyone?
Possibility.
Possibility.
I don't...
So what will be the new war cry? You have to take delete and exterminate.
Excrete.
Ew.
No. No.
The explicit not on me.
Excrete.
I take a dump on that idea. Next.
Ow!
Oh.
No.
Next.
No.
Another episode is set in Pompeii and will see the Doctor investigating the origins of his new incarnation. The episode is set to include a cameo appearance of an old favorite.
Could be himself.
Could be himself, could be Donna.
Yeah, I mean, they could run into David Tennant and Donna.
I mean, it does kind of, I don't know if this is all true or not, but Moffat did say that they weren't going to ignore the Pompeii episode.
I think that's where this idea comes from.
Yep. And also, the old favorite could also be Karen Gillan.
Karen Gillan could
The
be in it
souvenir.
as her character from Fires of Pompeii.
Yeah.
It's true. She could come back for that.
So, interesting stuff. I like the ideas, but, it could be just wishful thinking on someone's part.
And we're very early in the wilderness pregnancy, aren't we? So, it
Well, 4
in the
weeks
first
in.
trimester. So, these things could be total fabrication rumors that have nothing to bear on what's going to be born in 9 months' time or 8 months' time now.
I still remember seeing synopses of what was supposed to be the name of the Doctor and day of the Doctor, and it ended up being, totally off base.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I think the only of those three, I think the one that seems most likely is the Victorian one.
Yeah.
Followed by the Pompeii one. The second one, I don't know.
I like the idea. I think that's
the idea. Yeah,
the
the idea.
psychedelic thing.
Yeah,
it
sounds cool. It's just that where are they getting it from?
Weeping Daleks. I don't know.
Weeping Daleks.
Oh, Lord.
We're just gonna cross figures with everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we all need to start making our own fan art, splicing the two together.
Thoracic Phalapatorian with a Dalek. A
Yep.
farting Dalek.
How about the Arachnos with one of those, a farting spider?
Oh, Lord. Dalek with spider legs.
At this point, I think we're definitely going for a commercial break. We'll be right back after these words from our sponsors, and I wish they'd pay us more.
I'm Colin Baker, and you are listening to Mark Who 42, The Meaning of Life.
Hey, I'm Gary.
I'm Mike.
I'm Chuck.
And I'm Justin. Join the four of us every week on the internet's #1 and longest-running G.I. Joe podcast, What's on Joe Mind?
It's Joe news, reviews, and interviews like you've never heard them before, delivered right to your MP3 player.
Our guests include Jason Marsden, Kevin Michael Richardson, and Matt Yang King from G.I. Joe Renegades, Larry Hama, Robert Atkins, and John Barber from IDW Publishing, and many more from around the online Joe community.
Yeah, it's guys talking about Joe. Think of it as Joe Talk meets Sports Talk. And we make fun of Chuck.
Right, and we... Hey, again?
Come on, Chuck. We're just kidding, kinda.
Sometimes Chuck makes fun of himself.
Right, and we... Okay, seriously, this is just getting ridiculous now.
It's What's on Joe Mind every week on the Geekcast-Radio-network, InsidePulse.com, Stitcher Smart Radio, and iTunes. Download and listen today.
I suppose I still can't say something about Transformers, can I?
Come
Good.
on, man.
No.
What about sports?
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's all right.
2012 marks the 30th anniversary for Masters of the Universe. We here at the GCRN are celebrating with a brand new series of podcasts. The Powers of Grayskull series will cover every episode of every MOTU cartoon. Yes, even that crappy New Adventure stuff. Join Optimus Solo and TFG1 Mike as they tell tales of Eternia, discover the myths of Etheria, become masters in space, and finally masters of Grayskull. You can find the Pogs podcasts in iTunes and the web at www.geekcast-radio.com. Good journey!
And we're back, and wow, we hear that music? It's time for Christian's Corner. This is Doctor Who's best podcast this side of Gallifrey, Mark Who 42's WHOniverse. I'm Mark Baumgarten.
It's been an entire week, and we're still using the Fred Rogers music? Seriously?
Hey, again, it costs money. That was Christian Basel. We've got Patricia Helm, and we've got Eduardo-m-Freyre on our show as well. And we are in the corner. So, Christian, why don't you take it away?
Alrighty, so continuing on the questions that we didn't get to the last week, sorry folks, but we
What are these
gonna try
questions, Christian?
since we're in the pregnancy hiatus, we're giving our friends and fans a chance to ask us questions. burning questions that they've been holding in that they wanted to ask us but never had a chance to do so. We're letting them do so now. So, are we ready, gang? Now, here's the challenge. Whatever the question is, whoever it goes to, we have to answer.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
I totally did no show prep for this. I'm looking at this list for the first time right now. No, I'm not. Well, I am, but I'm not. But I am, but I'm not. I'm not going to tell you.
Do we ever do show
Anybody have
Not really.
anybody have a silent that can wipe out Mark's memory of these questions, or I don't know, one of those Men in Black flashy thingies?
Well, yeah.
Please look into the red light.
Hey, what's going on? Where are we? What are we doing? Oh, Christian's Corner. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
ahead. Go ahead, Christian.
And you're going to get me a real theme song next week.
We'll look for something. I think the Fred Rogers music is perfect.
Oh, boy.
I second that.
I actually am going to spend a little money on this. And speaking of which, back in the corner, we have our good friend who actually made an appearance while Ed and I were on hiatus. Mary-Geisler.
Hey, hi, Mary.
Hey, Mary. And she asks the four of us, what's your favorite Doctor Who book? We'll start off with ladies first.
The ladies.
Well, in truth, the only Doctor Who book that I have read is The Stone Rose, which is a 10th Doctor and Rose adventure.
And why is it your only book? You've read all the Harry Potter books. Why haven't you read Doctor Who books, young lady?
I don't know. I have a whole bunch of them on my shelf. I just haven't got to them yet.
Call yourself a Who fan.
I'm still a newbie. Give me a break.
I know.
So that
I'd have to have time to read these things.
There are a lot of books, and you can get those at mark-who42 books at amazon.com/shop/mark-who42. See, Mary was setting up for an ad for us, and
she was not. She was not setting up for an ad.
But thank you, Mary, and I hope you enjoy your book Salvation that I shipped out to you a couple of weeks ago.
Oh my God! You're using Trish's answer time to plug your store. That's low, man.
I really think you owe us money for this.
Take a drink.
Low. I'm taking out of your budget to find me a new.
Hey, she said she didn't read any of the books. There was some free time there. There was some free time. There was air.
She said she read one. She said she
read one. I read The Stone Rose.
And was it your favorite?
It's good. You can plug it.
Well, I don't know if it's my favorite. It could be.
Well, that's why there's free time.
Oh.
Ed, what's your favorite Doctor Who book, Ed? There.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be fair here because I've read 2 Doctor Who books. Okay, I've also read.
Really on the shelf. There's a shelf.
Well, hey, it did start out as a TV show anyway. But I read. Okay. See, the thing is, I've read also some graphic novels, but for the purpose of the question, I'm gonna stick to books. Okay, and I have read a couple of those, but so far I would say that my favorite has to be Last of the Gadarene, written by Mark Gatiss.
That's a good
which
book.
Features the Third Doctor. You know, it feels like a Third Doctor adventure.
Mm-hmm.
I could actually, as I read it, I could picture in my head the Doctor, the Brigadier, the whole 70s look.
Yeah, that was written for the BBC line of Past Doctors.
Yeah, and it was part of the 50th anniversary collection. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did reprint 11 books. If I remember.
And hey, we were just talking about Jo Grant and Jo Grant and sexiness. First time she appears in the book, Mark Gatiss writes she was sunbathing herself on the roof of unit headquarters in a bikini. So
of course she was, and there was a Dalek waiting in line.
And once again, you.
Is that a plunger? Or are you just happy to see me?
Ooh.
It's a plunger.
I think it should be Mark's turn next, since he's.
Tell me.
I like to thank. Hey, Target books were the novelizations were all great. Warriors Gate was cool because they had a whole 60 pages that took place at the beginning of the novelization that weren't from the TV series, and it was like backstory for the Theral, and Warriors Gate was great. I like to thank the Academy. No, I like Time Worm Genesis, the first Virgin Doctor Who book. that was what started it all. So I enjoyed that book. But my favorite of the past Doctor Adventure books from the BBC was The Indestructible Man. The Indestructible Man was an homage to Jerry Anderson. There were all his shows like Captain Scarlet, The Indestructible Man. There were references to Stingray, to Supercar, Thunderbirds. It was just an amazing homage, and that was like my favorite book. And I've already sold it. Sorry, folks, but I could get more. But it's a great book. The Indestructible Man had to be my favorite.
Who's the Doctor in that one?
The second Doctor, Patrick Troughton.
Christian, what's yours?
I gotta confess, I didn't read that many books either. I just want to give Trish a hard time. Believe it or not, this is really coming from old school. Really old school when the Find Your Own Adventure and Choose Your Own Adventure were very popular.
Oh God,
the Invasion of the Ormazoids.
Oh yes.
Does anybody remember that? I
just sold a copy. I just sold a copy at Hurricane Who. Oh, that was a great story. You got to pick your own adventure. It was different every time you read it.
Exactly.
So now, confession time, Christian. All right, confession time. So I guess you read all those when you were younger. You read all those Choose Your Own Adventure, Find Your Fates books.
They're awesome. Okay, I kind of liked it.
Well, no, but confession time, Christian.
Okay.
Would you like when you came to the point where it's like, if you go into the cave, go to page 34. If you decide to climb up the mountainside, go to page 35. Would you kind of skip ahead to see like which one wouldn't get you killed? Would you like skip ahead and be like, whoa, I don't want that ending?
Actually, it was the other way around. I actually would choose the ending, but if I didn't like the ending, I would go back. I would put my finger back on that page and go, "No, this is not a good idea."
I think a lot of people did that.
So because what's the point? I'm just like start all over and read it all over again to where I just kind of fell off and said, "Wow, I read about 50 pages again of the same stuff I did just to get back on that mountain again." No, I put my finger back on that page. I said, "Let's climb the mountain this time. It's a good idea." And the Cyberman shoots you, blows you up, and you die. Have a nice life. What's left of it.
I hate it when that happens.
Cool.
But yeah, this was. I also cherish the Invasion of the Ormazoids because it was also, at the time, Colin Baker was entering the role of the Doctor. And I actually did not see his whole costume, so this is a bit of a confession. I actually liked the costume on the cover of Invasion of the Ormazoids. Yeah. It didn't show his full costume. It looked kind of neat.
Now, I have a question for you. Did you have the American version or the British version?
And there was a difference, but K9's on there, which I thought was funny.
And the American version had artwork by Gail Bennett, who is a fan artist down in South Florida, and she used to attend the Omnicon convention. She was a friend of mine, and her artwork was in there.
If that's the case, then yeah, it did have artwork, so I would assume that, yeah, I did see the artwork.
British, but if you had the American version, you would have seen Gail's artwork. And
awesome.
She did a great job, and I know she still is around, but I don't think she does fan art anymore.
Okay, next question.
Next question. Thank you, Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks, Mary. And our next question comes from Emily-Mincher. Are there any companions you've fallen absolutely in love with? I can name a few for me, which she doesn't. Ha ha.
Well, I'll answer that pretty easy.
Well, it's more about
Sophie Aldred. Ace. I'm answering it right now. A. Sophie Aldred. The end. That's it. Goodbye. Ace was my girlfriend back in the day. No.
I thought it was Torrid. I won't tell her.
Yeah. Okay.
Torrid traded up.
Trish, is there anybody you've absolutely fallen in love with?
Of course, Captain Jack.
Captain Jack you fell in love
Captain
with?
Jack Harkness. That's my, yeah. I always tell Eddie that John Barrowman's my gay husband. So.
Well, that works.
Yeah, so, yeah. No, I love Captain Jack. Well, see, I haven't really watched very much of the classic, but, who's the guy with Sarah Jane that calls her old girl?
Harry Sullivan.
Harry Sullivan.
See, I can't stand that guy.
The imbecile.
Yeah, and didn't really fall in love with any of the girls. Oh, I love Donna though. Donna's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, Captain Jack would be the one I would have to say I fell in love with. Yes. I wish
Ed?
he would have been back for the 50th. That would have been awesome.
Well, let's see. For me, I would have to say at the top, Sarah Jane.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Jane. Got to go with Sarah Jane Smith. Coming in second, Sophie Aldred, ace, and then coming in third, Leela.
Oh, Louise Jameson.
Yeah.
He actually has a list.
He has.
Now, was it just for her outfit?
No, there's also the fact that if I don't have her on the list, she'll probably kill me with a Janice Thorne.
Yeah.
Like, you're on the list. You're on the list. Put it down. Put it down. Put the knife down. You're on the list. You're on the list. You're on the list.
Christian, what about you?
What can I say? That loincloth. Louise Jameson. I mean, when I was a kid growing up, and there is a comedian, I wish I knew his name, who explained, they did during the 40th anniversary.
Right.
They held all these episodes. One of them was a comedian explaining about the girls, and he fell in love with Leela, and that was the same impression with me. I was kind of like, I started with Sarah Jane, which was cool and everything, but when Leela came in, wow, and manhood, and really fast.
Well, hey, I think with Leela, it's the same. You apply the same science that can be applied to why Carrie Fisher had the metal bikini in Jedi.
When I had my first Janice Thorne.
Talking about first. Can we stop?
That.
No.
So, on to the next question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Our next question comes from our good buddy who cruises a lot, Dan Harris.
Hey, DeLorean Dan. Hey, Dan, how's it going? He's a friend of mine. Hey, Dan.
And Dan asks, I am currently building the guest of honor list for the next Doctor Who cruise.
Oh.
If I gave you each of you the job of sending out 5 potential guest invitations, who, aside from the doctors, would be on your short list? And Ed's going to start this one off.
Well, besides the doctors.
Oh, dear Lord. Okay, so, all right. So take.
They have to be living because this is a potential guest invitation.
Oh, they don't have to be living.
Wait, did he say that?
No.
Okay,
well, I guess
we're finding him a list. We're doing his work for him. So go ahead.
Okay, all right.
So he's listening, and Dan is listening in right now.
Okay, all right. So we'll go with living people. We'll go living people. We'll take out. We won't do the doctors. Just because he said. He said. So I would say for my 5, first off, Sophie Aldred.
Okay.
Sophie Aldred for a classic companion.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would say modern companion. Let's get. I would say get either Freema,
mm-hmm.
Martha Jones, or get Donna.
That's 3.
Catherine
Tate and Freema.
Catherine Tate, yeah, Catherine Tate.
People.
Okay, all right, fine. I would say get our previous guest, Dave Gibbons, to cover sort of the written part of Doctor Who,
mm-hmm.
and then for guest star, I don't know. Maybe see if he could track down Noel Clarke, Mickey.
Oh, yeah.
So you kind of have a companion / guest star thing, or if you can't get him.
We're going for 6. He's changing the rules on us.
Well, no, I said or. Okay, I'm giving. That's the thing.
Well, it's potential. Of course, it's or
potential. So I would also say Rose's mom,
Camille.
Kodori.
Yeah.
Okay, Trish, how about you?
Well, John Barrowman would be at the top of the list.
See, you took you already took one. I got to come up with new people now.
No.
Okay.
No.
Go ahead.
There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say that there was. Did Dan's question say they had to be unique for everybody?
No, he did not.
No,
so
he
go
didn't.
ahead.
I'm asking Christian. It's his corner.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
Dan gave no specifics, but I'm going to go with Mark's role. Yes, they have to be living because he's making the guest list. So I guess we are putting his guest list together.
Okay.
John Barrowman, Catherine Tate, Arthur Darville, Karen Gillan,
Mm-hmm.
and let's see. And oh, what's her name? River Song.
Alex Kingston.
Alex Kingston, yeah. And just the fact that, if they're gonna do the whole thing where they can get the characters to interact and do scenes and stuff like that, then you can get Captain Jack and River Song to do a scene together. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
you sure it's not just you want to see, since this is taking place in South Florida, you want to see if somebody can get pictures of John Barrowman in a swimsuit?
Well, it'd be a cruise. It wouldn't just be South Florida. But yeah, I'm assuming that's what she wants.
It's John Barrowman. He's going to dress up in a bikini, so you know this.
Well, and his husband Scott will be with him too, and he's a very good man too. So.
All right. I will say, I mean, you pick my John Barrowman. But I'm going to say it anyway. John Barrowman, Sophie Aldred. I would say, in terms of I would love to get RTD to come on the cruise. I would love to get RTD on the cruise. I would love to have Arthur Darvill had said he would have loved to have done it when he came down to Hurricane Who, but he couldn't do it. So I'd put Arthur on the list. And for the fifth one, I'd go with, could it be possibly, I know, William Russell, Ian Chesterton.
Ooh.
I think I don't think he's done a convention in this area ever.
Well, and hey, we had last Sci-Fi Seekers with Carol Ann Ford. So.
We did. So let's get William.
Ian.
Let's get William Russell.
Let's get Ian.
Okay, and how about you, Christian?
Yeah, for my list, she stole my thunder, but I'm looking for 5 people. You're on a boat all day. You need people with energy.
Yes.
So John Barrowman instantly took the top of the list, and followed by, you need energy, and I think you can back me up on this, Mark. Fraser Hines.
Fraser Hines coming back.
Yeah. That man's got energy. If you've never seen Fraser, he's got energy.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Also, Alex Kingston. She's got energy. She can talk, and people will listen. I would also bring Karen Gillan. And she brings energy too, but she's the most recent companion. I'd bring in Jenna Coleman, and because he might be listening, and I would like to bring in Simon-Fisher-Becker.
Simon. Yes, Simon is actually a listener of our podcast, from what I understand, and that would be Dorium, one of the Blue Men group. No. Just thought that in there. Hi, Simon.
Or hey, maybe Dorian is actually a member of the Gamelons from Space Battleship Yamato.
There you go.
Now I got this image in my head of Dorian with a bunch of pipes banging on them all over the place and throwing toilet paper out in the audience. No, I can't get.
Yeah, he's at a convention in Texas this weekend, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So, yeehaw, Simon.
And he made it safely, so welcome, Simon. Welcome.
Oh, and Simon, business and fun.
Okay.
I just answered one of his questions.
Oh, yeah. What was he doing?
I just jumped ahead.
Nice.
Nice one.
Next question comes from our friend Joy-Simpson, and it's a little bit big. As far as the paragraph of the question is concerned, compare and contrast Peter Capaldi's entrance as the Doctor to Matt Smith, David Tennant's, Christopher Eccleston's, and at least one previous incarnation of the Doctor, who has the best first scene entrance and why, who had the worst first scene entrance and why. You can use either of Capaldi's first scenes, either from the 50th anniversary Doctor or from the Christmas episode. Wow.
Can I go freestyle on that answer?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to go freestyle. I'm going to take all those things you told me to do and just eke out. Peter Capaldi's entrance was really cool. Definitely reminiscent of the Matt Smith and David Tennant ones, especially when except he talks about the color of inner body parts, not the outer body parts. So the kidneys, not the hair. The eyes that were in the 50th anniversary episode was probably the most amazing shot they could have used for him. As it comes to worst first scenes, I would have to go
I already know the answer.
Oh, do you? What's the answer?
I have an answer, but
You wanted my answer.
I want your answer.
The first scene of I hate to do this. Sylvester McCoy, because it didn't work, because they didn't have Colin change into Sylvester, so Sylvester was in was in a wig for the Sixth Doctor, and then he turned into himself, and then his first scene is being carried out by the Terra Trap, four-eyed bat creature, and so I think that was the worst entrance of Doctor Who. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion.
Trish?
So we're going for the best. For the best. Yeah, for the best entrance.
Best entrance.
Best entrance.
Best entrance. Well, considering I haven't seen very many of them. I do like Chris Eccleston the first, when that very first episode of Rose, how he pops up and, grabs Rose's hand and says, run for your life. I mean, I think that's a great entrance to a way to introduce the Doctor. I don't really have the worst because, okay, I have to agree with you. The whole thing with Sylvester McCoy is pretty bad. Eddie sent me the link to that, and I watched that, and I was like, wow, that's that's pretty bad. So I would have to go with that one because I don't think the other ones are bad, especially of the new ones, of the new Who.
Yeah.
I really can't say that there's a bad one in there.
Okay.
Was there a part of the question I'm missing?
What did you think of Peter's entrance? Did you think Peter's entrance was good?
Oh, I loved it in the 50th. The eyes, the whole thing. I totally agree with you on that. That was freaking amazing. And when I was in the movie theater watching it for the second time with everybody, just the reaction was crazy.
The crowd like exploded, didn't they?
Yeah. It was just awesome.
Hurricane Who was the same thing. They just you couldn't hear anything else for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah. And that's my answer.
Ed?
Okay, so my answer. I think trifecta as far as worst entrance would be Sylvester McCoy, and I mean I'll put like a little, kind of rider on that. It was a bad entrance, but the fault is not with Sylvester. It's just that the stars didn't align for that. Colin Baker was probably still upset about getting let go, and they just. The team just had to scramble to do this, and it was one of these things where I don't know, maybe there could have been a better way to do this, but the way it came out, you could tell that this was last minute. Holy cow, we're gonna have to do something, and it just showed. But I don't.
The Doctor needing to regenerate because he hit his head on the console of the TARDIS.
Yeah. I wish you hadn't said that. Sorry, wish you hadn't said that.
Why?
Because I was going to ask Trisha if she knew from what she saw how he regenerated.
No, I didn't actually. I didn't know.
He bumped his head because the Ronnie shot a ray. Ronnie shot a ray at the TARDIS, and it jiggled, and Colin bumped into the TARDIS console and knocked himself unconscious and regenerated.
Yeah, but
Oh, that's bullcrap.
It's total bullcrap.
But getting back, and then as for Capaldi's entrance, what I think of that scene in the 50th anniversary, that for me is sort of a little teaser, but as a little teaser, just one line and a set of eyes was perfect. I mean, it was one of those cases where less was more. We just knew that, this was confirmation that the 12th Doctor's coming in, and it was just perfect.
Christian.
Oh yeah.
Answer Joy's question, please.
Might as well close up the gap. Yep, it's the McCoy, Baker McCoy regeneration. But that was the thing I was going to ask Trish is, do you know why he regenerated? Could you tell how he regenerated during that scene? I couldn't even tell. No, nobody could tell. And nobody. I mean, it had to be explained in the book. That's how we knew. That's how I knew. I read the book and I was like, what? I missed something during this. And the American version actually starts off with them flying in the TARDIS and the bike falling over. So we didn't even get to see the computerized attack
That's
scene.
right. They did. They
deleted that.
the CGI, as it were. Yeah, they did cut that out.
So all we see is the Ronnie come in with a gun, and I'm like, what, did he shoot him? I mean, what happened? In the beginning, I was a little bit hesitant because this is the first time ever that the Doctor regenerates without doing anything glorified.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't a self-sacrifice or anything. He banged his head, and now we've kind of confirmed it with Zagreus, which he acknowledges in the supposed regeneration scene, and he's kind of come out and said, "Did you see me bang my head against the console?" Which Colin actually says is like, "Did you see a regeneration scene? Then I'm still the Doctor. Nobody else is me yet." We just have this other storyline, but I kind of now starting to appreciate that maybe the Doctor regenerates and doesn't have to have the glorified heroic ending at that moment.
I have to tell you something. William Hartnell regenerating into Patrick Troughton. I watched the 10th Planet. It just came out, and I got to tell you, the Doctor is kind of on the sidelines the whole episode. So it's not like the Cybermans did something which caused William Hartnell to change into Patrick Troughton. The first Doctor was just getting old and tired and needed to regenerate. He didn't have a glorified reason for regenerating. The TARDIS regenerated him when he pressed a few buttons, and the TARDIS caused him to regenerate. He didn't have a glorified either. But Patrick Troughton's entrance, and I've only seen it in telesnaps and reconstructions and from the books, that was, he had a good entrance scene because Ben and Polly were, "Who the hell are you? You're not the Doctor. What are you doing in the ship?" And that was much better than the Ronnie and the bat creature coming in and
leave the girl. It's the man I want.
Well, remember, you're also describing the Fifth Doctor's entrance, which he was in he was in a box for like half the show before he started coming out over there, and it was mostly on the companions. We really didn't get, it's a watered down regeneration.
Well, then again, I mean, with the Fifth Doctor's entrance, you did get that moment where he starts unraveling the scarf, and he ends up sort of discarding the pieces of his old life, as he gets his new look.
Okay.
So at least you did have that.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite? What's your favorite regeneration? The entrance of the Doctor. And I think I have an idea who you're going to say. Go for it.
Believe it or not, I would say Capaldi's.
Ah.
What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say Collins. Colin has a brilliant scene where Perry is totally stunned at what happened, and she's going, I, and the Doctor makes this real acerbic-witted cut down to her about
That's three eyes in one breath. It makes you sound like a rather egotistical young lady.
Right.
Actually, before
and
the Capaldi's,
and it's not a moment too soon. I thought that was a great entrance.
I did too. That would have been what I would have said until I saw Capaldi's.
Gotcha. So I was close. Okay.
And
I will say, and then there's actually it's the transformation from Davidson to Colin Baker. Was pretty dramatic, but I got to say, whenever you look at it,
you look at Perry's breath.
There are two things. Okay, there are two things that kind of kill some of the dramatic mood. Is number one that you have poor dying Peter Davidson and he's getting upstaged by
cleavage,
by cleavage, and then the fact that you have the Master's face showing up like all over the screen, going, "Die, Doctor! Die, Doctor! Die, Doctor!"
I would actually say that would have been my favorite, but I don't think any other actor, maybe Tom, could have pulled it off. But that moment, that few seconds where Clara and the Doctor are staring at each other,
right,
and almost like a stare down, that I think had the most drama than any other regeneration I've ever seen, including Tom's, because you don't know what he was going to do next. He just had these evil eyes. He just was staring at Clara, and Clara was just scared, stunned, like, what's he going to do? This is an old man now. And all the fangirls are running. So to me, that was more dramatic. And then all of a sudden, the first words out of his mouth are kitties. So, and then it was just this humorous moment with the kidney scene. And then he turns it around and goes, "Do you happen to know how to fly this thing?" He doesn't even mention the TARDIS. It's just like, we know the regeneration process, and it's all humorous from this point on.
Yeah,
So now we kind of get a glimpse of Capaldi with what writing he was given through this moment. And those, I mean, just that stare down was the most dramatic time I've ever seen anything else. I mean, everything else has been dramatic, but I don't know what he was going to do next to her. He just right into her face with those eyes, and next thing you know, pow, and then the kidneys come in. So
Christian,
I thought that was cool.
Christian, here's a little trivia that I found out. The regeneration from Smith to Capaldi, that is actually the first. See, usually with a regeneration scene, that's the cliffhanger. And this is the first time that when they do that regeneration scene cliffhanger, the last image is of the companion. Because it seems like every time that this has happened, the last image has been the Doctor.
Yeah.
So, this is the first time that the last thing we see is, Clara's stunned look of, what do you mean? Her stunned look is the last thing we see.
I loved it because before he regenerates, she had all this trust, all this confidence, all this comfort with the 11th Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can see how the 12th Doctor is just making her shake in her boots, just standing where she's at. She doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to fly this thing. His kidneys are a different color. And he's just staring at her like, what's wrong with you? And that's all she can do is react to his just insanity. And I think we're going to get a really great... Capaldi is going to be excellent.
Yeah.
Just from that scene alone, it's going to be awesome.
Well, it does show that, even though Capaldi's supposed to be a darker Doctor, it does show that he, at least in that scene, is, channeling a little bit of Smith.
I think he's channeling more of Baker, C. Baker.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tom Baker.
Tom Baker. Yeah.
Well,
with that.
Well, you know what I mean. He's, he hasn't settled into, the attitude that we've been told to expect. So it's still a little lighthearted. It kind of reminds me of when we had John Pertwee.
Mm-hmm.
How, like, for the first couple of episodes in Spearhead in Space, it's a little bit of, it's the trot and stuff kind of bleeding out before we get, Pertwee's interpretation.
Right.
I don't think the Pertwee that we know and love would have been, would have done the whole thing of the shoes. I need my shoes, and then hugging the shoes to himself.
Yeah, that was Troutanesque.
To me, this was reminiscent. If you guys can think back, and I'm sorry, Trish, if you can think back to The Key to Time. And there's that moment when Tom, the fourth Doctor, is standing there looking at the Key to Time in its hole.
I know where you're going with this.
And then all of a sudden he goes berserk on Romana, and Romana doesn't know what to do, and he's doing the eye flip thing. It's just there's only my will because I have the Key to Time, and then Romana goes, "Are you all right?" And he goes, "Well, of course I'm all right." But we didn't know that. We didn't know what was going to happen. Even as we know the fourth Doctor, that was reminiscent of that scene. We don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah. That's what I liked about the Doctor. We don't know, and it's reminiscent. If he pulls that fourth Doctor mentality into to his Doctor, what stories are going to be amazing with his character saying those lines?
Now, amazing what we got out of that long question from Joy-Simpson. We got a lot out there.
No, we did.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joy.
Thank you very much, Joy.
Wow, she gave us. Yeah, she decided. Hey, if I'm going to ask a question, I'm going to ask a doozy. Way to go.
Yeah. Christian, go ahead. Last one.
And this comes from our new friend, Mr. Simon-fisher-becker.
Dorium. Woohoo!
Dorium itself. Dorium. Business or fun? That's quick.
I said both.
Trish, you want to?
Fun.
Fun. Well, for me, I'm gonna, my answer is kind of like Mark's. My answer would be business that's fun.
The answer to the question is, Simon, if it's fun, it doesn't feel like business at all.
That's it. We have to go. We're on a time thing. You've been listening to us for an hour now, and that's all I want to let you. You don't have to listen to us longer, just as long as you made it to this point. Thank you very much for listening. Go to our Facebook page, MarkWho42's Universe. Tweet us at MarkWho42. Go to mark-who42.com. Go to World of Who. Go to florida-geek-scene.com. Go to geekcast-radio.com. If you want to buy some of these books that we were talking about earlier, go to amazon.com/shops/mark-who42. We are so happy that you guys listen to us. We've been on for longer than a year, and you guys keep coming back and listening to Mark Who 42's Universe, and we thank you so much. There are more questions in the corner that Christian will do next time?
Yes, children. We'll do this next time.
Excellent. Final words.
Can you say delete? I knew that you could.
So what's all this about, you traveling through time in just a nightshirt? I mean, come on, put some pants for God's sakes, man. Don't you have any dignity?
This is my new outfit. What's wrong with it? I like white moo.
You're in your pajamas. You
It's Victorian moo.
Universe in your pajamas. What is wrong with you?
You know.
Here, put these pants on. Look, I'm gonna give you a set of pants. You put the pants on.
Pants.
Look.
We'll be back next time. Bye.
It's like New Year's Eve all over again. It's like New Year's Eve all over again. You're gonna get a couple of drinks in you. There go the pants.
I'm not
gonna bail you out this time.
No,
You're gonna sit in the gallows for the entire evening. Sleep it off.
What's he talking about?
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Enjoy my new action figure with the white moo.
We're going. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
You'll listen to us next week, yeah?
Mark Who 42's Whoniverse has been written and presented by Mark Baumgarten, Patricia Helm, Eduardo-m-Freyre, and Christian Basel.
Mark Who 42 Whoniverse.
This show is edited, produced, and directed by Mark Baumgarten. Please remember to rate us and listen to us on iTunes and the Stitcher Radio app, and comment on our broadcasts at geekcast-radio.com, florida-geek-scene.com, and worldofwho.com. Tweet us at markwho42 and check out our Facebook page, Mark Who 42's Whoniverse. We can be contacted by email at mark@markwho42.com, the subject line, question mark. Dr. Who and his properties are owned by the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation. This podcast is streaming from markwho42.com. This podcast is owned and copyrighted by Mark Baumgarten, 2014.